I'm so sorry that took slightly
That's okay.
longer
No, it's okay.
because I was checking up on my kids. We just saved a little baby bird. Okay, I'm ready.
Are you sure? Oh my God, are you sure? Ready? There's always something happening.
Where are my kids? They were in the front yard, and there was a baby bird that fell. It was all wet, and it's kind of chilly out there. So I just had to quickly, do the mommy thing. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Hey, it's a good sign.
Okay.
I feel it's a good sign. You're always saving.
I was
You're always
like, really,
saving
right now?
So it happens. That's just why it's live stream, Okay, girl, I'm
Yep.
gonna go live now. I'm gonna push it, and then usually what happens is first few minutes you'll hear me speak, telling everybody I'm sharing in the right platform, and then I'll do my introduction like I always do, and then I'm gonna go to you, okay? And at
Sounds
any
good.
time, if any emergency happens, please, it's okay. We just have to use dogs barking. That's fine. Okay, here we go.
That's fine. Okay, let me close this door. Hold on.
Okay.
Maybe that'll give us more
Yeah.
more protection from dogs barking.
Okay,
let's go.
This meeting's being live streamed. Okay. All right. Got it. Okay, so it's going right now. It's still going. Do you want no. Okay, I think it's on. I think it is on. Let me double check. Hello, everybody. I'm not sure if you can see us, but give us a second. I'm just going to share it to the right platform, and then we'll start the show. Because also, my special guest today, Miss Grace, she herself is a very busy woman. So I have 1 hour with her today. Yes. Okay, so it's one person's watching. I don't know who that is, but whoever's watching, thank you. And then let me share it to, I know, gotta love. Oh, for some reason, it's not showing up on my Facebook, but that's okay. It's okay. Miss Grace, do you see it on LinkedIn? No?
Potentially.
The link is, okay, because I'm trying to add your name to it. Let me add a comment to, I don't know how you can share it, because this is the first time, everybody, that I'm doing it live stream on LinkedIn with Zoom. So please give me a little time, and let me just add Miss Grace onto my, there we go. I just add your name to a comment, so hopefully you got that.
Oh, yay.
Okay. You do? Okay. So I'm going to, all right, then I'm going to talk while she look and try to share it. So hi, everybody. I'm Sunny Girl Miss Cindy, and welcome to my WuWu show. And WuWu show actually about 5 years ago, when I had the time to do it like pretty much every day, it was actually a bilingual Mandarin Chinese and English broadcast show here from Kaohsiung, Taiwan. And since I've been grateful that I've actually reached the link in live stream level of viewers because of followers. And so I changed my WuWu show now into an all English show, but mainly focus on the people that I admire and respect, and also how they turn their life into what they call their favorite life. So today, my special guest is Miss Grace from International Edutainment Academy.
Edutainment, yeah.
Yes, she'll explain why it's Edutainment Academy later. And I actually found one of her advertisement for looking for a international teacher teaching Mandarin online. And we clicked since day one. I got my first interview, and today I am so honored to have her on my live stream. So welcome, Miss Grace. Hi.
Hello, everybody.
And can you quickly let us know where you're located?
Yeah, I am located in Texas, closest to the capital of Texas, Austin, Texas. And it is morning here. I know it is nighttime over there in Taiwan. So that's pretty cool.
Yes, I'm in Kaohsiung, Taiwan at the moment. So can I just have you give because I wrote it down what you're all about, but I'm sure you probably have other things you would like to share with my platforms of audience and your people as well?
So my company is called International Edutainment Academy, and it's shortened ieacademy.net if you're trying to find us. And essentially, the heart of the company is to support kids who are multilingual. While they are on their learning journey, we want to be right by their side, essentially allowing them to be able to explore in multiple languages, not just their home country's language. Currently, we offer Spanish and Chinese classes. We will be expanding to, of course, English classes as well, and hopefully many more in the future. But the classes that we offer will include not just, learning languages as a second language, but also things like singing, dancing, art classes, story time. Hopefully we'll find an awesome magician in the future and they can learn magic tricks in either Chinese or Spanish, just things that are fun for the kids, but approved by the parents. So that's why it's called international, because the goal is to have kids from all around the world meet up online, learn together. But it's not just educational, it's also entertaining. So it will replace things that are not quite approved by parents, such as 5 hours on YouTube, things like that. I mean, we love YouTube, we learn from there, but it's just, sometimes it can be like a too much for kids to handle for their age.
I agree. Definitely, there's something that we're going to talk about later, because I love what she does right now. From our conversations, you said you have students also in Europe, and where are the students that you have at the moment? Where are they from?
I've got some in France, England. I've taught one in Norway. That's pretty cool. Spain. And I want to say in Eastern Europe, potentially Russia. I'm not quite certain. Sometimes I don't really know, because the kids themselves, where do you live? In my house.
That's
so
cute.
It's like they themselves might not know where they live just yet.
Oh, that's adorable. Well, you know what?
Yes.
I find that your online classes, the way that you do immersions for many learnings, but most of all, I find it very important because we're actually, now that I'm got hired by you, part of your wonderful academy is that your academy is actually teaching students to be what I call a global citizen, because on the internet, you learn with each other, you make friends from around the world. And I find that very important, because sometimes, through the eyes of the adult, traditionally before, it's tough to be able to meet someone outside of your circles, whatever that environment can be. So internet, when it's in a safe space, it actually teaches them about more empathy, more compassion for something that they may not know or understand. So I love that about what you do. And can you let us know how old are your students, their age range?
I've got kids ranging from 3 all the way, some to have just turned 18. So it's a big range. Yeah. They're fun.
That's great. And I find it amazing that, people right now, obviously through media, they're going to think, oh, Miss Grace started it during the COVID. No. She had a business started back in 2018. And I thought the story was very, very wonderful and interesting. So I'd rather have her tell it to you. The audience that are watching, is that why and how did you start something like so innovative at 2018?
So I've got 2 kiddos. I've got 2 little girls. Okay, they're not little anymore. They were little girls back then. They are now 10 and 11. And so all the education things that I'm putting out there is what I have learned along the way as I am trying to prepare my own kids for the world. And discovered that traditional school may not be for everybody. And it's just, it accumulated with everything that's going on around the world. The thought of homeschooling started growing bigger and bigger in my mind. It was never a thought at all, actually. Especially when going through college, it's not like, I can't wait to get this degree so I can homeschool one day. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yes,
It's not the track of thought that you kind of go through. And so when as they grew older and older, I just felt like the school that we have in our neighborhood, it will not exactly get them to where I want them to be. And so I decided to be hands-on. I decided to take things into my own hands and start exploring what I could do for them. And so I wanted to be able to share what I have learned through the process with more people than just my kids, because I feel like they are probably not the only kids in this situation.
Yes,
so
yes. And actually, people who are watching now or later, I just want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch this show. And if you think it's valuable, please do like it and share it to your loved ones. Now that we're going to talk about something that's kind of sensitive, because before our live show today, we were talking about, I found out because she's in Texas and this recent shooting in Texas, and I'm very, very sad. And I do think that, I've been away from US home for so long. I'm searching for my roots here in Asia, in Taiwan. It's been 10 years, almost 11 now. And every time I hear something happening at home in US, it makes me sad if it isn't something that is pleasant. And so from Miss Grace, she said the school is actually very close to her. And you said it was something happening during the school back then where the kids were going through some drills that got you really just go, yeah, I got to do this.
Yeah.
Can you share that with us, please?
Sure. Back then, my youngest was in first grade and my oldest, maybe kindergarten. It's either, no, first grade. And my oldest was in third grade. And so it came that time of day when you go and pick up your kids. And when we came to the lobby of the school, all the parents were told to stay quiet. We were allowed to go into the hallway, but not to make noise. And I was like, what's going on? We can just, usually you hear kids running around as it's time to pick up the kids, And they told us that they were in the middle of a lockdown drill and they were not done just yet. So the parents were to be in the hallway and just wait quietly for them until they get the beep or whatever from the speaker, from the principal. And so we got kind of like a taste of what could happen in a situation like that, where we waited outside, and the classrooms, they have windows, long windows that will, you can go, people from the hallway can see the classroom and people from the classroom can see the hallway. And that was covered with long black piece of paper, essentially, so that you walk through and it was kind of eerie because all the classrooms were quiet.
It was dark.
Covered with this black. And the kids were taken to the back corner of the classroom and they all literally huddled down together with the teacher and they were to stay quiet. And I don't know for how long exactly, because can you imagine little kindergartners and little first graders trying to stay quiet, huddled down with the teachers for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes? It seems like forever to me. And so I'm pretty sure it seems like forever for the kids. And so that thought just came into my mind, like there has to be something better than this, because sending your kids to school should not be one of those, like, I kind of feel danger for you today, It should be, have fun, have a good time, learn. I will see you at 3 and let's go home and have our snack. It shouldn't be like, hang on, let them finish their lockdown drill. And so that my thought towards homeschooling began then, and then it just kind of kept on going as I studied more what we can do with homeschooling and the community.
That's but you know what, for me, to know that for parents to know that there are options out there. I think that's more important. And if anybody who's, I'll definitely put the link after our live stream today. I had also the honor to interview Miss Grace's two beautiful daughters, AJ and Amora, on my other live stream show called The Sunny Girls Dream World, which is a bilingual Mandarin Chinese and English show. Topics are based on more educational, something that where the parents and their kids and students can watch. And they blew me away because they were literally so fluent in Chinese. I was like, yes, there were moments when I first met them, I was like, and I'm gonna be honest with everybody. Anybody who knows me knows I'm pretty like I wear my heart on my sleeve, so I usually say what I feel. Is that because this is a Lincoln show. This is a show about business. This is a show more about what their future will look like. Studies have shown the top 3 languages in the world are English, Chinese, and French. Your daughter is now fluent in 2 languages, both writing, speaking, and reading. So that already opens up windows for them in many, many, career opportunities in any field, to be honest with you. And I, as an international teacher here in Taiwan, I'm having trouble inspiring my students how important it is to have dual languages. And so the breakthrough is it's amazing to see how they're so adaptable and they're so willing to learn. And I love that and respect that about them. And on that note, I guess you guys are now also traveling to a new destination that's coming up. Can you share that with us as well?
Sure. So right before COVID, I bought a ticket to go to Bali, Indonesia with my kids. And the goal was to travel, to have fun. And of course, COVID happened, tickets got blocked, airplanes all shut down, everything got refunded, and my dream stopped on hold for a little bit. Well, now the world is opening up again. And I changed my mind. We're going to go, but we're not just going to travel. We're going to go explore and learn. So I am going to be enrolling them in a school in Bali for about a year. And I think it's one of the rules in Indonesia. Every school, even though it's an expat school, for foreigners, must teach Bahasa Indonesian. And so they will be learning another language. Like life happens. So as they want to go and buy their snacks or whatever, hopefully they get to communicate with the locals and learn how to speak another language. I am from there. My mom will be there with me to help me out. And hopefully she will be the one reinforcing the use of Indonesian with my kids and help them learn and further along their journey there. So yeah, we went to Houston the other day to visit the Indonesian consulate, and they got a chance to see Indonesian art, Indonesian little temples that they had, just to introduce them a little bit as to what is Indonesia all about. Yeah.
But I love what you said about the environment of the school, that it's like outdoor, very naturey like. How lovely is that?
Yeah, so no grades, no tests. They go out and learn as they do, right? That's the biggest test of it all, because if you can get it on paper, but you can't really act it out in real life, I don't know if you pass, And so an example of what they just did this past few months at the school is the kids went out to gather some flowers, and then they came back, dissected the flowers, the insides, labeled the parts of the flowers in both their in English names, Latin name, and Indonesian name.
Wow.
And then they did artwork with the flowers that they picked out. So it's amazing. And that's like my dream comes true, and I wish somebody would pay for my tuition to attend the school, but you know, maybe in another lifetime.
Well, you can live through your daughters right now, whatever, that you coulda, woulda, shoulda, right?
Right.
Now, you said that your mom is Indonesian, and so you also mentioned that you have a Chinese side, right? Because that's why you learn
Yes.
Chinese. And how is your?
Mm-hmm.
I know 你的中文很好，like你中文很好，
还好，还好。
还好，你觉得还好。What about your Indonesian？你的 Indonesian 呢？
What an Indonesian? Oh, my Indonesian is better than my Chinese because I grew up speaking Indonesian first. It's actually my first language. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. My first
English
language
is my
is
second.
okay. My first language was Taiwanese, and my second language would be Chinese. But because I left young to immigrate to the States, so now my second language is English. But my Taiwanese is it's kind of salty because I don't speak it. I used to speak it at home a lot, but you know, down south here, because I could actually learn Chinese very quickly due to the fact that not a lot of people speak English. So I was and in Taiwan for a long time, and Miss Grace was living in Taiwan before. You knew the culture here back in the days. If you speak Taiwanese, it was considered you were kind of like low, that you didn't know how to speak
You were from the
proper Chinese.
countryside.
Yeah, I was from the rural areas, like very low. But now I'm like the coolest person in Taiwan, because if you speak fluent Taiwanese, which my Taiwanese is definitely better than my Mandarin Chinese. So, when were you here in Taiwan? And can you talk about a little bit of that experience?
I was right by Taipei 101. I have a friend, a very good friend of mine. She essentially she showed me the ropes. We walked around, we apartment hunted, and apartment hunting in Taiwan is like the apartment is on the 7th floor. All right, let's go up there, and there are no elevators. So those were some fun days. Let me tell you, in your 20s, you can do so much more. So yeah, we apartment hunted, and she was able to get us a spot very close to Taipei 101.
Wow.
And I learned the subway system. That's how we would get around, which I love the subway system. I wish we have a better one here where I live, so that we can go around just riding on subways. But yes, you can get by using English in Taipei. However, I liked shopping like in the night markets, the outdoor food, all that stuff. And like, if you know Mandarin, you can get around much better. Plus, a lot of the menus are not in English. So, you know, that's what I'm thinking with my kids. I kind of want them to be able to read traditional Chinese so that if they go to Taiwan, they'll be able to read at least the menu and be able to order, to know what they're ordering, you know.
Miss Grace, it's very different now from the last time you like the last time you were here. Everything is much more international. Everything, there's so, like, for me, I've been to Taiwan 2005 through 2007, the first time. And like you said, it was exactly how you described it. Now in 2022, there's literally more. There was like before, it was like one or two Western restaurants or pubs or bars or, you know, clubs. That's it. Now there's so many.
Right.
Kaohsiung and Taipei, of course, and other major cities. So it's so different now. You should definitely come and visit when it actually.
It's in the plans. It's in the plans for sure.
Okay,
yeah. Especially with the kids.
Now, I remember reading it, and you said you learned martial arts. How did that happen? You don't look like somebody.
It was so fun. Now, you know, there are all sorts of martial arts, and so the ones that I learned a Korean one, not Taekwondo. There's another one when I was in high school, middle school. And then I left the martial arts world for a while, and then after college, my brother and I we decided to check out a nearby Chinese martial arts school. And it was what you imagined, thinking of kung fu movies, all that stuff. It's very artsy, and it was very like you get to use lots of weapons, and it's very pretty is all I can say. But it's also a lot of hard work. Like they don't get to do all that stuff with just punching a bag 10 times a day. So it included flexibility, everything, but I just fell in love with the outfits, the martial arts itself, and then that's what encouraged me to learn the language. And again, a friend of mine was the one who guided me, like, hey, learn Mandarin through songs. Here are some songs, go listen to it.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
So now my kids, they do they learn through songs, and I can bring them to a karaoke place and sing some Chinese songs together.
Oh, they can sing a lot. They can sing a lot. AJ rap for me, and then Amora play and sing on the guitar, playing for herself during our live stream. Definitely, I will link it up here later in a comment box for everybody to see. Wow, so you learned Mandarin Chinese in the States. When did you even have time to even pick up Spanish? Because I know you're also teaching Spanish, right?
So I'm not teaching Spanish. This is what I outsource to teachers in Mexico and different countries. So it depends. I cannot be the one teaching them everything, and I don't want to, because I want them to be exposed to different cultures, different people, different personalities, basically, right? So I'm lucky to be able to find the teachers that I have found, and they are native speakers, which is much better than what I can do for them. And they are able to teach not just, again, learning the language, but they can teach geography, history, math in Spanish and in Chinese. So yes.
Yeah, if anybody who would like to have different kind of experiences of learning and education for your child, definitely I'll also link it up, because I already linked it up during the live stream on top, where the internet, you can also contact Miss Grace via LinkedIn. She's always looking for teachers. She's always always welcoming students to come. And if I'm not wrong, our academy is through membership, isn't it?
Yeah, you can definitely do a monthly membership. You can also pay per classes if that fits your schedule better. Yeah, it's pretty flexible.
Yes, and so flexible for everybody. Miss Cindy is gonna get up at probably 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning so that I can teach my class for the people with different time zones. And I think we both found that would be probably the best time. My morning time is the best time for everybody that are interested in my class with Miss Grace. So why don't I let Miss Grace describe what she will want me to do? What's the class that we decided to do together, Miss Grace?
So Miss Cindy will be teaching songs from her collection that she herself has put together, and it will teach characters and values that we want our kids to have, including patience and loving the earth and helping out the ocean. And so the classes will include singing, dancing, and Chinese character writing eventually. But the goal is for them to be able to speak Chinese and write Chinese, just not in a way where, all right, buckle down, here's a sheet of paper and write 100 characters a day. It's more like they will remember it better through doing. And again, that's the whole goal, is doing fun things and learning at the same time. So hopefully that will stick longer with them, right?
Yay! Well, you know what? I couldn't have done it better. Now I'm just going to put a little more details to that, is because something about me you didn't know. I created this book also based on when I first immigrated to the States, I listened to Sound of Music. And I also listened at, back in the days, 80s music was amazing. Let's not give away my age, but 80s music was like, I think probably because I love the 80s music because it was 1984. I was about 9 or 10 when I immigrated to California. So I actually learned through Disney Channel because that was the only channel my mom would let us watch. And then I listened to lots of pop music. Hence, my name Cindy came from Cindy Lauper. But my mom liked the fact that she liked the traditional writing, Cindy. That's why I have Cindy as my traditional name. But it was inspired by Cindy Lauper. She thought my personality and character was very similar. So coming to Taiwan, I had to create a book with a publishing company here because children were having trouble learning in a bushiban setting, like you said, sitting down. So the book was actually written bilingual. And you were talking about students that could learn English through your online classes. Well, I have people that might be interested to learn English because I was going to teach for beginner classes with Miss Grace, with the Sunny Girl, was to speak English to teach Chinese. And a lot of the Taiwanese students do not understand English, but they love the songs. They can learn listening to me speak English and learn Chinese songs because either way, they have to listen to the English and Chinese to learn the songs that I have created. And also through the class, we're going to learn a little bit of vocabulary. When they learn the characters, sometimes they look like boxes because they did for me as well. So then we'll probably throw in a little bit of pinyin and bapama for them to understand what that is. But mainly is to get them excited because we're going to probably, depending on the signups, we would love to have a beginner class, which is actually learning Chinese through dancing and singing with Miss Sunny Girl. And the intermediate level will be actually learning through complete Chinese, Mandarin Chinese with me. And actually, we will definitely go into more character writing, building sentences, and speaking, and all the above. Does that sound okay with you, Miss Grace?
Yes. Sign me up.
Here you go. You're gonna help me. We're gonna get lots and lots of students to be interested. Okay. Now I do have 7 questions for her before the end of the show. Do you know for your vision, because I always do a 5-year plan. Now that IE Academy is almost there, and you have to explain. Did you explain what edutainment means yet?
Edutainment. Edutainment is essentially education and entertainment put together, right? Nowadays, we like to splice words and put them together. So that's what it is, education and edutainment. And hopefully the parents are happy that the kids get some education and the kids feel happy because they're having some entertainment, right?
Wonderful. Yes. Now, I always have a 5-year plan. Since you already have IE Academy starting 2018, so literally you're coming up on your 5-year plans. I don't know if you're that kind of person that thinks ahead, because I always like to think ahead. If you were to think ahead, what would you see of IE Academy for you in the future?
I would love to see it expand to physical buildings where kids can go in there and go to school, essentially. And it would probably start off with either a place in Indonesia or potentially I do have my eyes on Costa Rica as well because we have that Spanish part of it. And we'll see what opportunities come about.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, with you traveling to Indonesia, are you part of that Bali school, or it's just that the kids are going and then you're doing your own like work?
The kids are going, and so the kids are going, and for the time being, I will be doing my own work. Now, these schools are always looking for teachers, and if I just can't handle it anymore and they seem like they're coming home having a blast every day and I'm like, I want to be part of the fun, I'll probably beg them for a job. But for now.
Do you even have time? Do you even have time?
You know, the thing is, when you have a dream and you have a goal, you will make
Yeah,
time somehow.
yeah, yeah. And do you still have family in Indonesia?
I do. My brother is there. My mom is there, and of course, cousins, aunties. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Amazing. I can't wait to like once you guys settle down, we'll like pop up for another Zoom, like a live stream later on. Bring the girls with you and we can just do
It
like
might be rice patties in the back.
yeah, I would love it. But I think that live stream would be awesome. We can do it on Sunny Girl. But for LinkedIn, you know, something that I always let people know on my live show is I believe if you take it nice and easy, you're able to have the kind of life that you want. It may not be great right away, but for me personally, I love my freedom. I'm not, I just don't fit in a corporate world or any kind of like system. So I've always been more part-time teachers everywhere or like sales somewhere. And then the minute somebody tells me, oh, you're doing a great job, let's move you up. And I'm just like, nope, I'm done. I gotta be somewhere. But I find that the new world seems to be very lucky for people like us because now the social media and the internet being so free and advanced, we're able to create our own business via social media and through the internet. So I find that like, people always ask me, how did I do it? I said, well, I don't ask. I just know that there was an option there. I gave it a try and I slowly transitioned from traditional settings to a new, freer schedule settings. So, did that also happen to you? May I ask
Yeah,
you what you were doing before you decided
yeah,
after the
yeah.
okay?
I was in the corporate world, in finance, and then I realized that I would love to be able to be a part of my kids' education, and with this whole advancement in technology, I'm able to school them as well as work at the same time. Find teachers from around the world. So, for example, they have Spanish teachers who live in Mexico and Guatemala. My kid's math tutor is actually they live in Kenya.
Oh,
They have Chinese teachers who live in both Taiwan and China and Malaysia. By the way, there's one who lives in Malaysia.
amazing.
Yeah, so it's incredible what we can do. I feel like we have so many more hours in our day just
I
because I
agree.
feel like we get more things done.
Mm,
Whereas before I would go to the office and then I would scramble around trying to put my kids in
mm,
ballet or whatever, so that
mm,
they have an extracurricular thing. But the whole day is done being in the office or at school, right?
yeah.
And it's not necessarily the most productive. So that's the issue that I had. Yeah.
But you know what? Like we what we're talking about here is for people like us. My brother, who on the other hand is a Google lawyer, he works beautifully in a corporate setting. His personality is much more set up. He likes that kind of structure. He loves
Mm-hmm.
it more. Like you will probably laugh. I've also like you done music teaching via online for so many years, even before COVID. Okay. And my brother tells me, he goes, sis, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't send my child onto an online class. This is my brother. And I'm just like, oh, I love you. But, we're so different in that life. Maybe one day he'll come around. But I understand the beauty of life is that we all have a choice. And I do
Mm-hmm.
hope that a lot of like, with reason the war, everything else around us, I just hope that we teach our next generation or inspire them at least to make better choices, find more love than hate, or find more peace than war. That's always been, I think, a lot of educators like us would do our best to keep that, because we hope that they grow up in a very safer than what we've been seeing right now in the kind of world that they're in. So you're one of those pioneers actually moving forward with IE Academy. So I think that is so amazing. Yes, I know. I'm looking at my time because I know you got to go soon. So while I ask you the 7 question, I do have one more question for you, and that is, if a parent comes to you and said, "Oh, Miss Grace, you're taking your child now to Indonesia to explore in the school without grades," how would they transition from elementary or junior high into a more competitive field? Obviously, they're going to need the grades to move forward to a university level. How would you explain that?
So, school is school, and then we do work on the back end as well at home. And so when I first started homeschooling, it was a hodgepodge. Like you put class here and there, put it together, hopefully it works. At the end of the year, I was like, this is my first year homeschooling. Let's see how they did. And so I put them in taking like a state test kind of a thing. They did it online. They were able to do it online. I think it was proctored. And at that point, they were finishing 1st grade and finishing 3rd grade. And I'm not trying to like boost up, anything, but the results came back really, really good. Let's just say they were in middle school level when it came to math as well as reading and writing.
Amazing.
So
and how old were they when that happened? How old were they?
They just finished 1st grade and finished 3rd grade.
Oh my God.
So it's I think it's a lot to do with the fact that they got one-on-one, every day, whether they like it or not. I am their mother, teacher, principal, and cook. So
you're like everything. Driver.
Yes, driver as well. And so that kind of result just kind of gave me more confidence and more boost that this is it's a choice, and it's definitely a better choice for them. And so when it comes to parents who are asking me these kinds of questions, it's one of those, you have a chance to instill not just academics, but also values. So whether it be moral values, work values. So, there are books out there for like the 7 qualities of a leader, things like that. If you pick one and you're like, I want to instill this in my kid, go ahead, you can do it without expecting somebody else, like your teachers or another school, to do that for you, and not knowing how your kids would respond. And so I think at this point, it's more than just grades. It's more like, what kind of person will they become, right? And we are more hands-on with that.
Great. Well, you know what? Like anyone who's watching this, if you want options, like I said, you can tell what Miss Grace is already offering for IE Academy. And the memberships is, I've checked it out. I'm not one of those people that likes to tell you what it is. I think after our interview, you should definitely, when you see what you see on her website and what she's offering, you're going to be surprised. The quality of the teacher and the pricing is not even just reasonable, it's very reasonable. Okay. So before I let you go and teach and let your daughters do their online learning, I have 7 questions that I actually researched, and I'll tell you why after I ask you these questions, okay? And there are no right or wrong. It's just something that like I ask every guest on my WuWu show, okay? Here we go. Number 1, what's happiness to you?
Happiness is waking up knowing that you have the freedom to make the best out of your day.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that one yet, but that's a good one. Great. Now, number 2, what change would you like to see of the world?
That would be if everyone can just do their part, the world will move along a lot better and smoother.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah,
haven't heard that one either. But you do know, in my eyes, you've already making the change by creating IE Academy for parents with options. Honestly, I hands down, that's, for me, I would say that for you. But okay. Now, number 3, if you could change one thing about your life, what would it be and why?
I would have started homeschooling a lot sooner. if I could go back, I would have started it way sooner.
I knew you probably were gonna say that. That just and but why though? Why for you?
So just because, as you watch your babies grow, you kind of know their pace of learning, their style of learning. And then at the age of what, like 4 or 5, you hand them over to a school. Those teachers will have 18 kids or whatever, not knowing each kid's quirks and differences.
Yeah.
And the teachers themselves have to have a learning curve to teaching the kids the right way. And let's be honest, not all 18 kids will move along together with everybody.
Yeah.
Somebody will be ahead, somebody will be in the middle, somebody will be left behind. And the chance of your kids being in any of that is, where are they going to be? I don't know, because it all depends on the teacher and the school. And so it's just a much smoother transition as you grow with your kids, that you continue their education right along. Like if they're ready to read, let's read. If they are not ready, well, then let's go outside and run around. And so I found that out when my kids were young, and wishing that we could continue, but what do I do with this corporate work that I have, right? And so had I known, I would have prepared myself for homeschooling sooner.
Wow, great. That's just great answer, but it's definitely very inspiring. I get you. But you know what, you're very sensitive. Since I met you, you're very sensitive to things around you. So obviously, you can care about your kids, but you're sensitive enough to know that you need to make options. Some parents, they're sensitive, but they don't do anything. They're too afraid to walk outside of the box. I think a lot of people out there are like that. So it's just different. Okay, number 4. What's your favorite sound?
My favorite sound. Okay. Right now, I have this one dog, and when you pet him, it's not purring, but you can tell like he is so appeased. It's the cutest thing, and I just love it. It just makes you want to hug him more.
Yeah. Oh, you're so unique. You're so special. That's amazing. Now, number 5, favorite color.
Okay, so favorite color changes all the time. I think it changes with the season as well. And currently I'm into pink. Not pink like this pink. That's not it. It's got a shade of gray in it. It's really soft pink. And I think it's because it's like spring, and I'm thinking of cherry blossom trees, like light pastel colors.
But did you know pink, sometimes that kind of pink, it means you feel vibrant, you feel young, and part of that spring means it's rebirth. I study these things, so that's why I asked this question. So stay with pink. So that means if you're feeling pink, you're in the right path, because you're about to transition into Indonesia. So all good, Miss Grace, all good. True. So number 6, 2 more questions. What's your favorite time of the day?
I hate waking up early in the morning, but that is my favorite time of the day. Like in the morning, if I go outside, when it's still quiet, the dew is still there, the air is fresh. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. But to wake up is a different situation, right?
Just open the outdoor and you'll be like, I'm good. I'm good. This is yes. Great. Okay. Last question. This is my favorite one. That's why I left it at the end. If you have one perfect day to yourself, okay? For yourself only, just think about it. What would it be like?
So waking up early in the morning, having my coffee, and then having a long walk or hike with my dog or dogs. I've got 4 dogs. Nice. And one of them I know, or 2 of them would probably go on my hike with me. And then, at the end of the day, having a nice warm meal prepared for me. So,
Okay. Well, First of all, I created these questions due to the fact that I want my viewers to know that there's somebody in the other side of the planet that is thinking the same thing as you, but may have different color skin, different background, different ethnic, different history, all the above. But we're all human beings and we're all citizens of this planet Earth. I care a lot about that because right now I feel like we are all too divided. So these questions was to let someone out there that might be feeling alone to know that they're not alone. That's one of the reasons I created these questions. Some of them very kind of like deep, some of them very easy. But number two, these questions were also created to let you know that these are questions that are very personal to you. So if any time you do not feel good about yourself, for obviously the last 7 thing, you know the 7th question, try to do that day for yourself at least once a month or at least once in every 2 months, because you have no idea how that would reset yourself for more journeys and more trials in life that would make you a better person. And that was something personally that I felt for myself. When I went through my pit bottom in my life, there was one day that I heard I heard the silence. I decided I care too much. My personality was I care too much. I never shared this before. I care too much about what people think of me. And when I shut that off, I decided to do one day to myself for what I want to do. It changed me completely. And I finally could hear silence. Silence is the most beautiful sound to me. When you could hear silence, you could hear yourself, your soul. So for me, that's something that I put out for my audience and for my special guests to let you know you're beautiful, you are important, and you're someone special on this planet Earth. And definitely take care of yourself first before you take care of others. So on that note, Miss Grace, I love you. Thank you so much for coming on my show. And thank you so much for having me as one of your teachers. And everyone, we're going to have a free online trial class on June 5th, Sunday, which is we schedule for 7 o'clock in the morning for me. So that is Taiwan time, GMT plus 8. So figure it out.
June 4th. June 4th for the US.
Yes, June 4th for the US. I'm not a math teacher. So this is why Miss Grace does all the, Cindy, did you know for your time, it is this time in Europe, this time in US, this time everywhere else. So thank you, Miss Grace, once again. And I will see you real soon. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Like it and share it. Love to you all. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.